Hey neighbor, Kevin from Wild Homestead Living here. Spring has arrived here on our homestead, and so has breeding season for a lot of the local wild animals, including our resident woodpeckers. Now, people often run into conflict with woodpeckers because of their habits. I just wanted to do a quick video to talk a little bit about the source of these conflicts and some simple ways to mitigate them without harming the birds. Let's get started. Julie and I feel fortunate to share this property with 5 different species of woodpeckers. We have pileated woodpeckers, which are the largest species that we have in our area, downy woodpeckers, which are the smallest, and then in between we have red-breasted sapsuckers, hairy woodpeckers, and northern flickers. Now, all of these species have a little bit different habits, a little bit different preferred foods, but the one thing they all have in common is they peck wood. Conflicts with woodpeckers arise from a simple misunderstanding. A woodpecker can't understand that the wood siding on your house is different than the wood on this tree. In their experience, the only thing made out of wood is a tree. So when they encounter wood siding, they basically are expressing their normal behavior on that siding as if they were on a tree. Now, normal behavior includes drilling into, especially standing dead trees, to excavate insects, things like carpenter ants, insect larvae, things that they like to eat. It also includes excavating large holes in those trees to make nest cavities so they can lay their eggs and raise their young. It may also include doing what's called territorial drumming, which is very loud hammering sounds. They're advertising that their territory is occupied. They're also, the louder they can be, the more impressive they're going to be to a potential mate and to a potential rival. They don't always just limit themselves to pounding on the wood on your house. They may find something like a chimney cap or metal flashing that makes even more noise, because they're going to sound even bigger to a potential rival or potential mate. All of these are normal woodpecker behavior, but when it's happening to you on your house, you have holes in your siding, you have this intense noise from them drilling on the metal, it can feel very personal. The animal doesn't know it's your house. The animal doesn't know it's disturbing you. There's nothing personal in it. The animal's confused. So because we know this, we can take steps to eliminate that confusion and get the animal to stop exhibiting that natural behavior on our house. If the woodpecker is drilling multiple holes in the house and it looks like, there might be some insect activity there, you're going to want to treat that. Animal might have just done you a favor, saved you from a carpenter ant infestation or termites. If the animal is excavating larger holes and getting down to like the underlayment and then moving over and starting again, it might be trying to make a nest cavity, and it basically just gets confused every time it hits the underlayment, but this is still a big tree, so it just moves over, tries again. In those cases, you're gonna wanna cover that area with something. You can either use scare tactics like hang reflective strips, even some simple pieces of aluminum foil, old CDs or DVDs hanging from a string, things that are going to be moving and flashing and scary for a bird to approach. Or you can cover it entirely. You can go with lightweight plastic visqueen, you can go with fabric or a tarp. You can do anything that's going to just cover up that wood so the bird doesn't think it's a tree trunk anymore. If the woodpeckers that you're having a conflict with are clearly trying to build a nest cavity, one other option is to give them an alternate nest site. Even if you don't have a lot of trees on your property like we have here, you can give them an alternate nest site in the form of a nest box. Nest boxes are commercially available, or you can build them. You can find them through a Google search. And usually with a woodpecker, you're going to want to fill the cavity inside that box with wood chips so they feel like they're excavating their own nest. But if they're just looking for a nest site, giving them that nest site can alleviate the conflict pretty quickly. If the bird is hammering in areas making a lot of noise, your goal is going to be to pad that. It likes the noise, so if you can muffle that, put something soft on there, when it hits it, it doesn't make that noise anymore. It's going to move on, it's going to find another place. Chimney caps are often a problem. The birds will sit on top and pound pound on the chimney. You don't want to pad it because there might be heat coming out of there. You don't want a fire hazard. There is a way you could more safely pad it if you just make a pad out of aluminum foil. You can take a few layers, you can crumple up some in the middle so it makes a softer impact. Like, this is a lot quieter than pounding on straight metal. The bird's not going to be interested in using that anymore. Just stressing though, only use fireproof materials if you're padding chimneys or other areas that might have some heat exhaust. So some of you may be hesitant to, hang stuff on your house or things that might look a little hokey, worried about what the neighbors are going to think. I would just say, don't worry about it, because once you have that stuff up, the neighbors are going to be too busy trying to get the woodpeckers off their house, so you won't have to worry about that. So just to recap, if you do have woodpecker activity on your house, they're there because either it looks like a tree or it makes a lot of noise that they really like. So finding a way to make it not look like a tree, cover it, pad it, or make it scary to approach, or to reduce the noise is going to be key to reducing this conflict. And I do want to stress that except for the feeding behavior, all of the other woodpecker behavior, the drumming, the nest excavation, this is only in a limited window, spring and early summer. So you won't have to fight this all year round, just during those parts of the year. You'll need to be vigilant. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to enter them in the comments section below. Please also click on the like button if you like this content, and subscribe if you'd like to receive updates on when new content is posted. You can also head over to wildhomesteadliving.com and sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive content sent out only to our email list. And remember, there is no one right way to homestead, only the way that's right for you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Perfect timing.